So I'm here with Dan, the owner of Growers World Superstore.
Wait for it.
So when did you open your store?
I opened a couple days prior to legalization. I already knew they were going to come bother us anyway. So that's why a couple days prior to legalization, I figured that people were somewhat open-minded to the fact that weed was going to become legalized. Because we were going to be basically opening at the time like a store that'd be on the forefront of like what a store should be in terms of legalization, where there is like, you know, majority of everything for sale. It is like cheaply priced or adequately priced in like a market. So it's funny, if we opened up, to be honest, most police and bylaw don't care. They seem to be pretty supportive of the legalization, the fact that people's minds should open up, because at the end of the day, they don't want to deal with like useless complaints and everything, right?
Yeah.
So
have you been open during the pandemic?
oh yeah, every day other than the days that we're not open like already. We're open most holidays and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
If we're not busy, we're gonna be open one way or another, right?
Have you been harassed from bylaw?
They used to come by, yeah. Then they switched over to COVID police. So then COVID police was coming by for a while. Yeah,
What do you guys got going on?
we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Come check it out after or whatever.
Yeah? Sounds good, sounds good.
But yeah, in terms of that, yeah, they used to come by. But even those people, they're unknowledgeable. They just come by strictly to like harass you, and then, you know, they haven't done any actual research on the acts themselves. You know, it's like fresh legislation. These people have probably a quick training. So then it comes here and it doesn't really go anywhere because it's like, frig, if you can't come out smart people that already know more about it than you do, you know, these people are just low paid people, you know, it's not like they're gonna really care. So yeah, the class came by in November. So it's been
Told you to
5
close?
months. No, they didn't tell us to close. Like, they tried to argue with us like they usually do. But it was nothing new. You know, they were coming by every week. Sometimes you wouldn't see them for a month or whatever. You know, they always send different looking guys. The last agency they'd be coming down was out of Scarborough, off of Markham Road, right? So it's funny, they were coming from out here, then they were coming from Eastern, and then they were coming from Markham Road.
What's your opinion on the lockdowns themselves?
Well, it wouldn't work anyway, so it's just insanity. It's absolute insanity, if you think about it. It's like saying that you're not essential, basically. Or you're picking and choosing by your category, like your work skills, like who's essential, who's not essential, you know, so it's never gonna work.
So you've been one of the few business owners to stay open throughout this pandemic, hasn't followed the bylaws. Do you have any messages for any small business owners, anyone who's struggling?
Technically, under the laws, we're somewhat in a gray area to be allowed to be open due to agriculture. But regardless, if I was running a bar, a bowling alley, anything, I'd be open. You know, it wouldn't matter what I was doing. If I'm relying on that income, I enjoy that job, and I have ambitions and I have beliefs that, you know, you're building. Like, you obviously put time and effort into it. You wouldn't believe the amount of effort I put into this place. There's no words to describe, you know, the amount of money or the time, the years. You know, the years even prior to opening. You know, I was planning this out for 2 years prior, right? So there's so many different aspects to look at. And I look at all these people that probably inherited their businesses, you know, whether their parents, like, you know, raised them, you know, to run this place, you know, whether it was your own idea, whether it was something just by chance you hopped on. Like, I'm sure these people, you know, I can imagine some of these businesses that closed, the amount of effort they put in. I don't know why they ever gave up, you know, and that's the key thing, is you gave up on yourself. The government never closed you down. The virus never destroyed your business. At some point, you decide not to go into work and didn't want, you know, it's like anything. If you didn't go to work on your farm for 3 months, what would you have left to come back to? Nothing, you know? And that's why from day one, I never closed. There'd be nothing to come back to in the end. I don't even think I'd last 1 month, to be honest. In actuality, you know, you wouldn't last that long. How are you gonna pay for any expenses? Well, you know, you're just as insane to accumulate a debt than the government force you to close down. So, you know?